Well, if you got a dollar, well, just lousy down. You know that I got rhythm that could suit your budget fine.
Hey, this is Patrick with Trusty Huckster Mercantile. Welcome to my channel. If you've been following my channel for a little while now, you will have noticed a trend over the last few posts and few videos that I put up. They are all related to the Just One More Dachshund Rescue fundraiser. That is because the fundraiser is coming up this Thursday, November 11th, and I'm doing as much as I can to promote as many items as I can so that they get some attention and hopefully will all sell and bring in a good donation for the charity. If you are not familiar with my channel, welcome. I don't always focus on dogs, but once a year, I started this last year, and this is the second year I'm doing this fundraiser. It is for the Just One More Dachshund Rescue charity, JOMDR.org. They are a 501c3 organization. Last year, we raised $3,500, and this year, our goal is $5,000. And we're doing so through a combination of efforts, one of which is donations being made to the charity from resellers, viewers, dog lovers from around the country who have heard about the event and are donating items that I can then sell on their behalf, with 100% of the proceeds going to the charity. So I wanted to showcase, effectively it's almost turns into a haul video, because although I didn't buy all of this, it's like Christmas morning every day when I open up boxes and I have items that have been donated specifically to the charity. So I'm just going to go through a few of the more recent donations. Additional items that have been donated are in previous videos. You can also follow me on Instagram at TH Mercantile, short for Trusty Huckster Mercantile. Some posts are going on there, and I will explain a little bit the mystery box grand prize, which is also being spelled out on the Instagram page. But for now, we're going to cover the donations. So this absolutely adorable Doxy dresser caddy. It's got the little tray for your coins, your rings. It's got the back for your wallet, you know, whatever, you know, you slide your keys in there. There's several different Doxy styles of caddy. This one I had not seen before. It does have the Japan paper label on it, so it definitely has some age to it. It's an absolutely fantastic condition considering its age. It's not super heavy, so it won't be super expensive to ship. It's absolutely adorable, and this is one of those cases, it's actually a useful item, even if you don't, if you're not specifically into Doxies. It's just a very cute vintage dog that you could have in your bedroom or in your closet, on your dresser, helping you get organized in the morning. This was a donation by Beth from Carolina Princess Sweet Treats and Pretties, and she is also donating one of the mystery boxes, which I will talk about in a little bit. Another Doxy item, and I don't want to mislead, not everything that is part of the fundraiser is a Dachshund. There are Doxies. There is a general trend that there's a lot of dog-related items, including other breeds, and then some non-dog items that are pretty much vintage items. So we're trying to keep at least somewhat to what I typically deal with, which is vintage. And I do like dogs. I don't currently have one, but I do like dogs. And so, you know, kind of the combination. But we recognize that the charity itself, Just One More Dachshund Rescue, will be promoting this, and so they will have some people that may not care so much about the vintage. They may care more about the Doxies, but a lot of my viewers and people that are familiar with my channel and my content may not specifically be interested in dogs, but they might be interested in some of the vintage items. So again, kind of covering it from both sides and hoping to bring as much to the party as possible. So, but I do have another Doxy, and this one is a wooden Dachshund. So this one does not have any sort of stamp, mark, label, or anything. So I'm not sure if this was a home, you know, DIY piece, or if this was a production piece. If it was a home piece, it's very well done. It does have the cutoff of the shape of the side of the Dachshund. You can see it kind of stops here at the shoulder. And then, let's see, how do I want to show this? So then you've got the two sides, and then the head is one block that has been cut out. I won't say carved, I would say just cut out to create the front and the inside front of the box. The ears are also applied. I don't see a nail or anything, so I'm gonna maybe assume that that's glued on there. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see it's just sort of sitting on it. So I do think it's glued. You know, very well attached. There's no issue. I don't think that there's no nails or screws or anything to kind of help give the age. And then it does have the little googly eyes that are also, yeah, you kind of spin it, and the eyes roll around, which are also glued on. So I'm thinking maybe this is a 70s or even 80s piece because of the googly eyes. The back end is you can see at there's a curve here. So you've got a curved part that comes around to then create the back side of the box. So it's not a box with everything else attached to it. The tail end and the head are actually forming the front and the back of the box. And then this, I have a feeling there was a hole cut into the back side that this is inserted into. I can't imagine it's just glued on because there's no way it would have stayed on for any period of time. Absolutely adorable piece. I think this is going to be really popular. Again, whether it's a Doxy lover or just somebody who likes vintage woodworking pieces. There is a small amount of damage to it, which is understandable because I do think there is some age to it. It's not particularly noticeable, but you can see there's a split in the veneer of this wood that they used for the side. It's still there. You can see the back. It's just the veneer has come off. So the bottom foot is somewhat separated, but it's not loose or anything. It's just, there's just a little split there. So that's unfortunate, but it is an adorable piece, and you know, things that have age sometimes do have some damage, so it just gives us a little bit more character. This was a donation from Bree Gia, who's one of my viewers on my channel, and she had purchased this actually in the live sale of Jerry and Tim, who are Vintage and Vino. So they do live sales. She saw it on one of their sales, and they drop shipped it to me. So it was a donation for the fundraiser. It's great when, you know, all of the other channels kind of group together and have no problem sending things directly to me so that we save a little bit of shipping on behalf of the buyer, and it got to me in plenty of time that I can include it for the sale. So a couple of Doxies, but again, I'm not just having Doxies in the sale. So I've got a couple other things coming up. The next items I'm going to show are actually items I had picked up and just had not included in any sort of haul video or loot shoot previously. And these were items that I well, there's one exception, but these are items that I specifically picked up to donate to the fundraiser. So I'm doing this, I'm donating my time, I'm giving up my typical live sale, which is normally on Thursdays. I'm giving that up to do the live sale where 100% of the proceeds will go to the charity. But then I am also purchasing items that I think will do well in the live sale or possibly on my eBay channel. And links to my eBay channel will be in the description of this video, that you will see some items. There are currently some items already listed, which will end the evening of the sale, and those are all dedicated or destined for the proceeds will go to the charity. But because I've had such a high number of donations, there will be additional items that will go live during the event on Thursday that will end the following Thursday. So depending on when you see the video, you actually will have the opportunity of picking up a couple of different pieces. Pretty sure these are going to be live sale items because they're relatively, they're obviously very small. I'm not going to say they're inexpensive because a couple of them I actually did pay up for because they have some different age to them, but they are vintage dog tags. So it's one of these cases, I did not know this was a thing. I didn't know that people kept dog licenses, dog tags. It's not really a dog tag. It's more of a dog license. So it's like the tax you would pay to the city or the county to have a dog. So this one is from the city of LaSalle, or no, this is LaSalle County, which I believe is Illinois. I picked this up in Illinois, and then we do have a LaSalle County. And this one is actually dated 1929. So we do have some age. So the fact that this hung around that long is actually interesting to me. This one is from Des Moines, Iowa. This is 1947. We've got a Lee County, Illinois. It actually says Illinois on it. This is from 1957, kind of shaped like an acorn. I got another one from Lee County, also shaped like an acorn. That's 1967. Actually, was that other one's 57 or 67? Oh no, they're both 67. I got another acorn, also 67. And then another LaSalle County one from 1929. The 1929 ones I actually paid up for, so those will go for a little bit more. The other ones are were less expensive. And I'm not sure, like I might do a lot you know, maybe what I'll do is I'll combine the 1929, the 1967, and then the lone 1947. That might make a nice lot that would be of interest. And then the other ones I might sell individually, and, you know, just as, you know, a kind of a grab bag. That's what I like to do on my channel. So price-wise, I'm thinking that these will probably be about $10 each. And, well, this one will be a little bit more because I think I paid $10 for him. So we'll see what I end up selling some of these for. But this kind of goes for anything that I'm showing here, and any of the, if you go back and watch any of my other videos prior to the event, obviously, if you see anything in the videos that you like, I've sold many items off the videos. So just drop me a message, drop a comment into this video, and I will let you know if it's still available, and we can, if we work out a price, I'm happy to sell it to you in advance, because right now I have more items than I could possibly sell during the live event. So it is going to stretch out. So the more that I can sell through videos like this, the better off we're going to be. But, you know, hopefully giving you an idea of what's going to be part of the sale, so hopefully entice you to attend. Well, let me skip that one. We'll go to this one. This one was also purchased specifically for the fundraiser because everyone loves poodles. Now, I bought it because I saw that the name of the magazine was said something illustrated, it had pit poodles on it. So I go, oh, cool, it must be like an animal magazine. It's not. So this is just the name of the magazine is illustrated. So every Wednesday, week ending April 19th, 1952. And I had to go through this and figure out, well, wait a minute, what is this? First, there's some great 1950s ads. So I think there is going to definitely be some interest in this just from the vintage ephemera aspect. But it took me a while to go through. We got a Nell Gwyn marmalade ad. We got a travel ad. There is one page that references the front, and it is literally Playtime for Poodles. And it's just a series, it's one page with just pictures of poodles. Now, why that garnered the front page of this issue, I have no idea, but it's still cute. And I think dog lovers would like it because it does have pictures of poodles from the 50s, very appropriate. But there are some, again, some great vintage ads. So this one is Kensita's Cigarettes Extra Size. So you've got the full page, full color ad. And I will put, this one I probably will end up listing on eBay because there is a article that's in here. First, there's an article about hats and hairdos. So those are always going to be really popular, you know, again, from the 50s. But, of course, I can't find it right now. There's an article that is evaluating additional evidence and some additional photographs that were found following Lincoln's assassination. And there are actually photographs of, you know what, I'm not going to show it anyway, but there are photographs of the people who were convicted of the assassination. It shows them actually hung on the gallows. So there is a market for that, not necessarily what everyone wants, but there are some great historical photos in there, and then an article. Can I show anything that's not? Okay, well, actually, this was a picture I'd never seen. How do I show this without showing what I don't want to show? So these were two photos that were made, or that were taken. I actually had never heard of the guy in the corner. The guy in the corner was handcuffed conspirator Lewis Payne. So admittedly, I can't say I'm like super knowledgeable of my Lincoln history, but Lewis Payne gives on wrist, I don't know, G-Y-V-E-S. I guess that's the type of handcuffs. It looks like a bar type handcuff. Gives on wrist, awaits escort to prison. So they're just showcasing some photographs that I evidently prior to the 50s had not been found or known about. So there's some great historical information in this too. So April 1952 issue, because of the dogs, it's going into the dog fundraiser, but because of some of the content, this will probably get listed on eBay, and I think there might be some additional interest. The other item is something that I'm still scheduled to do, but I'm willing to give this piece up because I have others. I have an interest in Picard porcelain, primarily the all-over gold patterns, but I was looking at Picard, just the history. It's a Chicago-based company. I'm interested in it. Picard has a date stamp that was actually fairly widely used. So this is a relatively common stamp. So I found this because of the stamp, but I have other pieces with that same stamp. I'll probably do a deep dive or maybe a duo dive with Katie, or it's just a regular video. But when I was looking at what I had to donate to the fundraisers, I didn't have a lot of Great Dane items, and I thought this was just an absolutely it's a gorgeous plate. It's a small plate, so it's not like a decorative, like one of those big commemorative plates or anything. It's probably about the size of a bread and butter plate. And Picard didn't make, to my knowledge, they didn't make commemorative plates. So I think this actually was designed to be a bread and butter plate or something you would use on your dinner table. So I just thought he was cute. Maybe a little bit big for bread and butter. It might be a salad plate. It's just some great detail in there with a little triple portrait of the Great Dane. Absolutely perfect condition, beautiful. This will be part of the live sale. It's not necessarily a high piece item. If I come across any other Great Danes, I'll probably combine it. But right now, I believe this is the only Great Dane item I have. So some of them I'm turning into lots based on breed. This is just going to be a lot of one, and this will be the Great Danes. But I've got other dogs coming up. So the next items that I'm going to show were actually a donation from Jamie at Mid-Century Wasted. She sent me 3 different figurines of dogs. 2 of them are Doxies. 1 is debatable. So I will start with the Doxies. One of them is kind of like hard to show this. It is a fire hydrant, which you have in the middle. And then you see the head of the dog and the tail of the dog wrapped around the fire hydrant. So I actually did a video earlier over the weekend. I actually wasn't in a video. I had a live event, and it was Name That Breed. And I had a couple dozen items that I could not figure out what their breed was. This wasn't one of them because this one was pretty obvious. So this one is a Doxy, nice long body wrapped around the fire hydrant. This is just a little figurine. It's not a salt and pepper shaker. There's no holes or anything in it. It's not anything other than to look cute. And I've got a lot of Doxy items that this will probably get mixed in with a couple of others to make some small lots of Doxy items. I think that one's gonna be really popular. Similarly, with a much more classic look, absolutely gorgeous, very regal looking Doxy, short-haired Dachshund. This one is oddly, I'm just going to say, it is oddly a salt and pepper shaker, or a salt shaker, or a pepper shaker. But look at where the holes are. So when this is sitting on your table, it's like when you tip it this way, it would actually fall down its back to fall out, or you'd end up like rotating it all the way to try and get the pepper and salt to come out this way. So it seems oddly placed, like they should have just been at the top of his head, but for whatever reason, they put them on the bottom. There is a stopper in this one. It is a lone piece, and the holes are so buried in the back. I actually, when I first got it and I unwrapped it and I got it ready for the video, I didn't even know it was a salt shaker. It wasn't until literally I pulled it over and actually was holding it up to the light, making sure it was clean, that I realized there were holes. So this one, I think, if somebody wants to use it for a salt shaker, fine. But this, again, is just going to be a really attractive figurine. Just happens to be a salt shaker. And maybe someday somebody will find the mate, because I don't know if he would match or if he was something that was complementary. But he's adorable. Another Doxy item. I just really like the way he's sitting up and the shape of him. So I think he will be popular. Now, the third item could be a Doxy, but I think it's a Basset Hound, which I'm happy about because I don't really have too many things that are Basset Hounds. So this one, the reason I don't think it's a Doxy, because, see if I can get without the glare, he has jowls. So you can see his lips are, he's sitting down, his lips are kind of spread on the floor, and I do not think a Dachshund would have that. He has the long ears, and I just think he kind of looks like a Basset Hound. So he's got a long body, and Bassets and, Doxies both have long bodies. Bassets are just bigger. Does still have a long tail. So he's a hound of some sort, and I'm going to vote that he's a Basset Hound, because I love Basset Hounds myself. And I only have, I think, 1 or 2 other items that are Basset Hounds. So he'll get mixed into that lot to make a popular, hopefully make a popular Basset Hound lot. But he is adorable, some great spots. And again, really nice condition. I'm not sure. I don't think this was a DIY piece. I think this was a production piece. That one is a production piece. This one was definitely a production piece. And this was also a production piece. So none of these are DIY. So some great Doxy, Doxy and non-Doxy items that came in from Mid-Century Wasted. However, Lest you think this is, again, all about just dogs, I have something else. Earlier this summer, one of my customers, Michelle Decker, who happens to be local to me, had purchased a few items from me and had heard about the Dachshund fundraiser. And she reached out and she said, she was in the process of dealing with an estate, and she was, deciding what was going to go to Goodwill, what was she going to keep, what was she going to throw away. And she said, would you be interested in some of the nicer items that she was planning to just give to Goodwill to take them specifically for the fundraiser? And I said, yes, of course. They weren't going to be necessarily dog related, but I feel it's important to, again, as I mentioned earlier, to not just have dog items. And she ended up giving me multiple boxes over the period of a couple of months. And this was earlier in the summer. And I did showcase a few of her items, but there were so many and it was so far away from the actual fundraiser. Some of them got boxed up and just kind of stayed in storage until I started unearthing them for the sale. And some of the items she donated are really high quality items. And so all of these that I'm about to show are not dog related, but they are very specialized, very high quality pieces that will end up in my eBay store specifically for an auction. Because one of the first things that I had dug out, and this one I actually dug out over the summer, so this one I actually knew about, was this absolutely gorgeous box. And she actually thought maybe I would want the box for myself, which was super generous. I do like it. It definitely has a nice fit to my aesthetic, but it's not necessarily something I'm specifically trying to add to my collection. The cover detail is a little modernist for what I typically would do. So I said, well, no. And when people donate things or give me things as friend mail that I don't particularly want to build a collection or add to my current collection, they go into the fundraiser. So this one stayed in the box. But I did a little digging and I looked up, luckily it's a nicely stamped piece. And I looked this piece up, and the last one that it sold is Nordisk Malm, A-L-M-A-L-M, S. Christian, Denmark. At the time I looked this up at the beginning of the summer, there had been one that had sold for $150. It was this exact item. After I found that, I literally contacted her and said, were you aware what this is worth? And she said, yep, that's fine. I had no interest in selling it. Put it into the fundraiser. So this is going into eBay. Hopefully it'll generate just as much interest because this could end up being one of the most valuable items donated to the fundraiser. The other items probably won't necessarily bring as much dollar amounts, but I think will definitely bring some interest. I personally have never carried Kachina dolls before. I actually had never even heard of a Kachina doll until I was did some deep dives with Laura Bemos from Bemos Mercantile, and she collects these, and I had literally no idea what she had, and so she showed me. And so when I opened the box and I found these, I suddenly at least knew what I had. These, again, have a following. They're very nice pieces, vintage pieces. They're stamped, made in Japan. This one happens to be actually apparently a salt shaker, but that appears to be the only one that's a salt shaker. The other ones just appear to be dolls. So I'm going to be putting these up. I think she's still considered a Kachina, but maybe not. These will end up going into the eBay auction as well, because I wouldn't even know what to price them because I don't know how to tell, which ones are the more common versus which ones are the more rare. So I'll let the market determine that. So those will go live this Thursday with the auction ending Thursday the 18th, November 18th. So those two pieces. Also, I've got a couple calls out with photos out to some of my reseller friends who know jewelry better than I do. But she gave me an entire box of rhinestone jewelry. So we've got this one. We've got a little teddy bear. We've got a sailboat, red, white, and blue sailboat. Got what looks like that Aurora Borealis finish. We've got a pair of elephants, trunk up, unfortunately, but still cute. Amber, no, not amber, amber color glass stones, rhinestones. Kind of a really pale lavender. A wreath style with two-tone rhinestones, and then a little tie tack of a cheetah, I think, leopard. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 9 brooches that I need to relook at some of them. Katie from Vintage and Vinyl had given me a few additional tips. They do have the riveted backs, so they're a little bit older, but at least at first glance, I didn't see any of them that were signed. So I will relook again. But I have a feeling instead of trying to sell these all individually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them together as a lot, put it onto my eBay store, and then hopefully if there's a couple of these that are a little bit more valuable, it'll kind of garner a little bit of interest across the entire lot. And what I'm hoping in almost all of the cases is that these items will be popular enough that people will also then say, well, it is for charity. So this isn't whatever gets paid. Obviously, I have to pay my eBay fees and all that. But whatever gets collected, it's not coming into my pocket. It's going to the charity so that maybe people will open on their wallets a little bit more so that they would actually pay a premium price or at least a fair retail price because they know the money is going to the doxies. So some great items. One of the items I also pulled out because not everything she donated will go into the auctions, but she again donated some very high quality pieces. So we've got this set of Balik Creamer and Sugar. It has the blue mark on it, which I looked up is from 1997 to 1999. So that's the definition of vintage. Bone china, you can't really see it from this side, but because I've got the lights looking at me, I can see that they are translucent, just like all Balik. I personally am not familiar with this pattern. So if you know Balik and you know what this pattern is, I would appreciate it. And I can't really get it to focus because it's so bright. So I'm not sure what that is. Tulips, maybe? No, it can't be tulips. That one's bent down. They kind of look viney. And then there's that big piece up there. So if that's a known pattern, I would appreciate any information you might have. Because those will actually be sold just as an item during the live event. Because again, not everything is dog related. There's going to be some non-dog related items too. That's it. Just wanted to showcase a handful of the items that had come in that had not already gotten showcased to give an idea again of what's going to be available during the live event and what might entice you to go to my eBay store to pick up some of the auction items that will be going in for the Just One More Dachshund Rescue. Now, as I mentioned, I also am promoting this on my Instagram channel, and one of the things that I'm highlighting a little bit more detailed at Instagram, but I'm going to cover it here as well, is effectively what's being considered the grand prize item that will be provided during the live fundraiser. It's not really, it's really, they're donations that have been made from resellers around the country. I'm currently at 36 resellers have donated boxes. They've donated mystery boxes. Now, we did the same thing last year, and the way it worked last year, because we really had no idea how popular this would be, the way we did it last year was you could, for every $5 you donated to the charity, you would have a chance to win you would win these mystery boxes. My goal at the time was, I was hoping for 5, and my high end was hoping to get 10. We ended up getting 35. And the problem was by the time we realized we were getting 20 and then 25 and then 30, we'd already been collecting donations for a couple of months. And prior to that, I said, get a chance to win all of the mystery boxes. I didn't feel it was right to change the rules. So one person won all 35 boxes last year. That was a little crazy both for her, that was Kim at Oh My Vintage. She started a reselling business right after that. But it also was a chance we felt maybe more people would have bought tickets if they felt there were more people that could win. So what we're doing this year is between the 36, hopefully we'll round that up to 40, so we have a nice even number. We are going to take 5 mystery boxes. We're going to grab 5 mystery boxes and make that a prize, and we will choose a winner for every $5 donation and sponsorship that is made. You will get an entry into the drawing for the mystery boxes. So you will have a chance to win a mystery box. Win a set of mystery boxes from 5 different resellers. So right now, if we remember our remedial math, I have 36. So that means we have at least 7 prizes that will be issued. And between myself and a couple of other generous resellers, they've agreed to help me round up to the next number of 5. So we will end up having at least 8 winners. So If you want to purchase a sponsorship, you want to make a donation directly to PayPal, or I'm sorry, directly to JOMDR, it goes through PayPal. I am not involved in that part of it because that is a cash donation to a 501c3 organization. If you want to do that, their PayPal account is paypal.me/JOMDR. Again, just one more Dachshund Rescue. So for every $5, you will get an entry, a chance to win one of the prizes. And what we did differently this year, if you happen to be in Canada, your account will be flagged as a Canadian customer or a Canadian donor. You will have the option to win a Canadian set of boxes. Last year, we only had American donors. We had a couple from Canada who volunteered, but we didn't know how to work it out. So right now what we're doing is we found enough volunteers that we will have 5 boxes within Canada. So the Canadian donors will be all competing for that one set of 5 Canadian boxes. So we'll have that, and then the others will all be the American boxes. So that way the donors don't have to ship cross boundaries, which gets a little expensive, you know, all that kind of stuff. So again, paypal.me/JOMDR. You make your donation. You can join the live sale event on Thursday, November 11th at 8 p.m. on this channel. You'll be able to watch that for a couple of hours of live activity. Hopefully have some fun doing that. Dawn, the head of the Just One More Dachshund Rescue, will be there with some of her Doxies. I think she currently has between 18 and 20 Dachshunds in her sanctuary right now. So maybe some of them will make an appearance on screen. And if you saw anything in this video or any of my previous videos, be sure to reach out. And if you want to purchase those in advance, as long as we can work out a price, we can make sure it's yours. So thank you so much for watching this series of videos. I appreciate all of your time, and I appreciate you putting your trust in Trusty Huckster. Hope to see you at the fundraiser. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Well, show me a sign if you're wishing me to stay. Otherwise, I say goodbye, finish out the day. And that sunrise in the morning and you got nothing to say. Oh, that's when I'll be headed on my